one-day national webinar on awareness on IPR for the aspiring minds, organized by Startup and Innovation Cell and IQAC in collaboration with Government of India, Department of Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade Office of the Controller General of Patents, Design and Trademarks. I would request Honorable Principal Dr. B.S. Yadav, sir, for the welcome address. Over to you, sir. Yadav, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
I'm audible, madam?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Good morning to everybody. Today, Department of Innovation and IQAC of KJ Somiaya College with just a moment, madam. Office of Controller General of Patent Design, from where Madam Ujjwala Madam has joined as a resource person, and all the staff members and participants who has participated in this today's program. I welcome you all and appreciate that Dr. Konda sir has organized a very good lecture on IPR, which is actually need of the hour. Today, KJS College has started many research centers where around 100 students are doing their research works. So what I feel that all the research students as well as graduate and postgraduate students should be encouraged for the innovative research works, and that actually is the need of the hour. If you want to make a developed India, this four E should be considered. One, number one is education. Number two, employment. Number three, entrepreneurship. And fourth, E is concerned with excellence. So all the teachers who actually attending this today's lecture, I feel personally that they should be encouraged to concentrate on these points. And on more detailed information, today's chief guest, Ujjwal Madam, has joined this program. I hope she will give the detailed information on IPR, and that will be proved quite useful to all the participants. So on this occasion, I give my best wishes to all the participants and give my best wishes and welcome Ujjwal Madam. Thank you, Madam. Thank you to all the participants and best wishes to you all. Over the versa, Madam, please.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the welcome address, sir. Now I would request Professor S.R. Pagare, Vice Principal of the College, to introduce today's chief guest to all of us. Over to Pagare, sir.
Thank you, Madam. Good morning, everyone.
Madam,
Honorable Principal Dr. B.S. Yadav, sir.
Madam,
Coordinator of this cell, Dr. S.G. Konda, sir. And all the participants. I'm here to introduce today's resource person, Ujjwal ji. She has completed her graduation with chemistry as a subject from St. Stephen's College, Delhi, and PG from IIT Delhi. She has qualified in NET and also was awarded JRF in Chemical Science in January 2018. She has completed her project on photoelectrochemical with splitting hydrogen production from IIT Delhi during 2017-18. She has worked as scientist in Quality Evaluation Laboratory in Delhi in 2018-19. Since then, Honorable Ujjwal ji is an examiner of patents and designs and is located at Mumbai Patent Office, which works under Department of Industry and Internal Trade, as well as Ministry of Commerce and Industry, Government of India. It's our pleasure to have such a knowledgeable resource person for this webinar on awareness on IPR for aspiring minds. Once again, on behalf of IQAC and Startup and Innovation Cell, I welcome Ujjwal ji for this webinar. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now I would request Coordinator Dr. S.G. Konda to introduce the theme of the webinar.
Madam.
Yes, sir.
Hello everyone. Very good morning and warm welcome to this national webinar on awareness on IPR for the aspiring minds, organized by Startup and Innovation and IQAC of this Somiaya College of Arts, Commerce and Science, Kopargaon, in association with Government of India, Ministry of Commerce and the Industry. Today we have very dignitaries of today's Honorable Ashok Rao Rohmare, Chairman, Kopargaon Taluka Society, Honorable Sanjeev Dada Kulkarni, Secretary, Kopargaon Taluka Society, Sandeep Dada Rohmare, Trustee of this Kopargaon Taluka Society, Honorable Principal, Dr. B.S. Yadav Sir, and Miss Ujjwala Ma'am, as a resource person from Patent Office Mumbai, Professor V.C. Thange Sir, IQAC Coordinator, and Professor S.R. Pagare, Vice Principal and Head of the Startup and Innovation Cell, and my dear participants. As we know, this year our nation is celebrating the 75th anniversary of India's independence under the banner of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. And government has taken initiatives on National Intellectual Property Awareness Mission. Under this mission, that is NIPOM, that is National Intellectual Property Awareness Mission, which aware and training is imparted to the millions of students on intellectual property rights during this year. So with this context, our College of Startup and Innovation Cell has initiated to conduct a national webinar on intellectual property rights under the banner of NIPOM. So it's my very pleasure to share with all of you that our college has established a Startup and Innovation Cell under the linkage of Innovation Incubation Linkage of Savitribai Phule Pune University, Pune, in the year 2018 and 2019. Also, we actively working for the students which can enrich the innovative ideas in their minds. Also, in the year 2020, 20 and 21, we established Institutions Innovation Council under the guidelines of Ministry of Education, which also impart innovation skills. So these startup cells and innovation cells are continuously working for the students which can enrich the research cultures in their minds. So with this, today we have a national webinar on intellectual property rights, which will definitely help our students. Today we have Miss Ujjwala Ma'am as a resource person, examiner of patent and designs from Mumbai Patent Office. I warm welcome to Miss Ujjwala Ma'am. I request to please enlighten our students and faculties with your fruitful interactions. So, with this, I am also thankful to Mr. Amol Patil Sir, NIPOM Officer for Patent Office, Mumbai, for his strong support to arrange this webinar. So with these few words, I will stop here. I welcome once again all the participants and students and faculty members for this national webinar for interaction. Thank you so much. Thank you. Over to the Varsha ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Now the moment has come for which we are eagerly waiting. Without stretching your curiosity, I would like to request today's chief guest, Honorable Miss Ujjwal Ma'am, Examiner of Patent and Designs, Mumbai Patent Office, Government of India, to guide all of us. Over to ma'am. Over to Ujjwal ma'am.
Good morning all, and I welcome you all on this National Intellectual Property Awareness Mission today. Sir and ma'am, I consider this as the opportunity, pleasure and honor to welcome respected principal sir, vice principal sir, the respective HODs of various departments, the faculty members, the coordinators, and all my fellow friends to invite you on this IPR awareness program organized by the prestigious institutions. Sir, the purpose of this program is to enlighten the student how they can create or transform their innovative, their ideas and their creativities into innovations and then further convert them into assets. So Sir has very well explained a brief about this program. So without spending too much time on the introduction, let's begin with the presentation. So just give a brief view about my slides. Basically, we will be getting familiarity about the definition of intellectual properties and basics about intellectual property rights, then what are the objectives of intellectual properties and how we can protect our intellectual property. At the last, we will having a small quiz. So I request all the participants to be attentive during the session. And sir, one more thing, which language, in which language students will be more comfortable, I will use that only.
English is no problem. English and Hindi both are.
Okay, so I will be bilingual then. Just let me know, sir, if my screen is visible
Yes,
or
it's
not.
visible, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. So let's begin with the definition of intellectual property. We all know about the property. So earlier we used to commercialize the tangible assets. So first that comes the definition of tangible assets. So we have tangible properties like lands are there, vehicles are there, and buildings are there, flats are there. We used to buy them, we used to sell them. But what about ideas, the hidden properties, and what about services? Now these are some properties which are not visible to us. We cannot measure them. So again, but they can be considered as property. How they can be considered as the property? Because they have some commercial value. So like any other property, we have the intellectual property, जिसको हिंदी में कहते हैं बौद्धिक संपदा. And from its name only, the meaning may be clear to you. The meaning of intellectual property is बौद्धिक संपदा का अर्थ होता है बुद्धि से उत्पन्न, मनुष्य की बुद्धि से उत्पन्न कोई भी संपदा वो बौद्धिक संपदा कहलाती है. We give, for example, we have teachers who give services to the students, right? They teach students, but can you measure them? In the same way, we cannot measure how effective the idea could be. So the outcomes of the creativities and ideas, they are not measurable, but they can be converted into a kind of property which can be borrowed or which can be sold. So intellectual property again is a kind of property that is coming out of human mind. तो आपके वहाँ पे बहुत सारे ऐसे स्टूडेंट्स होंगे जिनके पास कोई न्यू आइडियाज होते होंगे. इट कैन बी इन एनी फील्ड, इट कैन बी इन लिटरेरी फील्ड, इन scientific field, in academics, it can be in artistic field. So the purpose of this lecture is to get student aware how can they protect their creativities, their ideas, and how can they commercialize them. आप जब कोई एग्जाम दे रहे होते हो तो आपको लगता है कि उसने चीटिंग करके हमसे ज्यादा मार्क्स प्राप्त कर लिए हैं, तो उस चीटिंग को कैसे हम रोक सकते हैं? कैसे, अगर आपके पास न्यू आइडियाज हैं तो आपको क्या करना चाहिए कि आप अपने आइडिया को प्रोटेक्ट करें और उससे फुल बेनिफिट्स लें? So now the whole concept is based on the protection of your ideas. So the kind of properties already discussed. Properties are majorly divided into two subparts. One is tangible and another is intangible. Tangible properties, earlier people give so much importance to the tangible property, जैसे व्यापार के लिए खेत वगैरह उनका लेन देन होता था. But now you may see that those property which have more advanced technologies and more innovative countries that focus more on ideas and creativities, the country is having more startups with new ideas and features. They are on the highest level of the global index in terms of in economic developments. And you can find that developed countries, why are they developed? Because they have the advanced technology that makes them reach the highest marks. So again, as a developing country, India also need to focus on the importance and significance of innovations and intellectual property is an asset. कोई भी बौद्धिक संपदा जो होती है वो किसी दूसरी प्रॉपर्टी की तरह ही होती है, जिसको हम बेच सकते हैं, खरीद सकते हैं, लाइसेंस कर सकते हैं और एक्सचेंज कर सकते हैं. आप सभी अभी आज के टाइम पे सभी के पास मोबाइल फोन्स होते हैं, राइट? तो एवरीवन यूजेस मोबाइल फोन्स, बट दे हैव इट हैड आइडिया और कॉन्सेप्ट एम्बेडेड इनसाइड इट. सब यूज करते हैं लेकिन किसी को ये आइडिया नहीं है, ये पता नहीं कि किस तरीके से हम फेसबुक पे पोस्ट कर रहे हैं. डू एनीवन नो अबाउट इट? हाउ वी आर able to do video conferencing, how can we do video calls on WhatsApps, how can we send emails just by click of a button. So all these ideas are there inside a device. So when we put our ideas into a device or into a thing which can be measured, or then there are chances that it can be converted into a property. And when it gets converted into a property, you can have a good opportunity to commercialize it and get financial benefits out of it. Now, आज हम दो तरीके की intellectual properties पढ़ेंगे. Basically, intellectual properties are divided into two subcategories, which are industrial property and copyrights. So, industrial properties means those property which are capable of मैन्युफैक्चरिंग n नंबर ऑफ टाइम्स इन द इंडस्ट्री. ठीक है, जिसको हम इंडस्ट्री में हजारों की, लाखों, करोड़ों की संख्या में मैन्युफैक्चर कर सकते हैं, उनको हम इंडस्ट्रियल प्रॉपर्टीज कहते हैं. तो इंटेलेक्चुअल प्रॉपर्टी के दो पार्ट्स होते हैं, इंडस्ट्रियल प्रॉपर्टी एंड कॉपीराइट. तो इंडस्ट्रियल प्रॉपर्टी में हमारी चार बेसिक प्रॉपर्टीज आ जाती हैं, जैसे कि पेटेंट्स जो कि इन्वेंशन को दिए जाते हैं. देन ट्रेडमार्क्स दिए जाते हैं ब्रांड नेम्स को. देन इंडस्ट्रियल डिजाइन्स होते हैं जो कि आउटर मोस्ट अपीयरेंस को कन्वर्ट करते हैं किसी भी प्रॉपर्टी की. देन जियोग्राफिकल इंडिकेशंस होते हैं. तो इंडस्ट्रियल प्रॉपर्टी में हम ये सब प्रॉपर्टीज देखेंगे. एंड देन वी हैव कॉपीराइट्स which includes the literary work, artistic work, musical work, and architectural design. So we will be looking at them one by one. So these all are the intellectual properties that are going to be in the next slide of this presentation, which are patents, designs, trademarks, GIs, and copyrights. So I request all the students to be attentive during the session, because at the end we have a small quiz and I will ask questions and you have to answer quickly. And very briefly I will explain everything. This is just to give you basic concept about द इंटेलेक्चुअल प्रॉपर्टीज कि आपको कौन कौन सी आपकी क्रिएटिविटी है जो आप कौन कौन सी डोमेन्स में प्रोटेक्ट कर सकते हैं. सो कमिंग टू द मेन टर्म विच इज इंटेलेक्चुअल प्रॉपर्टी राइट्स. अच्छा, हम सभी को राइट्स दिए जाते हैं. वी हैव मेनी राइट्स गिवन टू अस. तो राइट्स का मेन पार्ट है क्या? व्हाट डू राइट्स डू? सो राइट्स एक्चुअली मेक हार्मनी एंड बैलेंस इन द सोसाइटी. नाउ व्हेन इट कम्स टू ट्रेडिंग, तो ट्रेडिंग को भी एक प्रॉपर तरीके से कंडक्ट कराने के लिए, एक फेयर तरीके से कंडक्ट कराने के लिए हमें इंटेलेक्चुअल प्रॉपर्टी राइट्स दिए गए हैं. So like any other rights, these rights allow the creator or owner of the patents, designs, trademarks or copyrights to work to get benefit from their own work in creation. ठीक है. तो ये आपकी क्रिएटिविटी, सपोज आपको आपके माइंड में कोई न्यू नॉवेल चल रहा है, नई कहानी चल रही है, आपको लग रहा है कहानी बहुत ही यूनिक है, अलग है, और अगर आप इसको अभी प्रोटेक्ट कराते हो या अभी लिखते हो तो इसकी बहुत सारी कॉपीज बिक जाएंगी. सो द फर्स्ट थिंग यू नीड टू डू, आप सबसे पहले तो अपनी कॉपी, अपने आइडियाज को, दिस इज आइडिया ना, आपका ये ओरिजिनल वर्क है, इट इज कमिंग आउट ऑफ ह्यूमन ब्रेन. सो यू विल राइट दैट novel on a book, on a paper. Then what should you do? First is you should protect your work. How do you protect it? By getting them registered in copyright. So the first thing you should do whenever you are creating something new is you have to protect your ideas and creativities. The main objectives of intellectual property rights are to encourage the fair trading, which would further contribute to the social and economic development of the country. And one more thing is, आपने देखा होगा कि कोई कंट्री, कोई न्यू प्रोडक्ट या कोई भी न्यू, मैं बस एक एग्जांपल के तरीके से बता रही हूँ. जैसे आपने सपोज अभी कोई हमारी कंट्री से कोई एक वैक्सीन बनती है. Now that is helpful. What is the problem today? The main problem in today era is we are facing the COVID situation. Okay. Now, if somebody from our country is capable of creating COVID vaccine, which is much more effective than what is there in the market, okay, then first thing you should do is you should get your idea, because now there are a lot of resources, lot of time, lot of energy, and most importantly, human mind has been invested while creating that vaccine. Now, the first thing the creator should do is he should file for its patent. ठीक है, उसको सबसे पहले अपना पेटेंट कराना चाहिए ताकि उसके जो आइडियाज हैं, उसके जो क्रिएटिविटी है, उसने जो इतने सारे रिसोर्सेज यूज किए हैं, इतना टाइम स्पेंड किया, वो उस सब टाइम को के सब फाइनेंशियल बेनिफिट्स ही वुड गेन. ठीक है, जैसे हम प्रोटेक्ट कराते हैं आपको रॉयल्टी मिलती है उसकी, और आपको जितने भी आपके रिसोर्सेज लगते हैं उसमें, वो सारे आप वाया प्रोटेक्टिंग और वाया गेटिंग पेटेंट, आप उन सब रिसोर्सेज को वापस से यू कैन गेट देम. सो if you have any such ideas, for example yesterday while I was examining an application, then मुझे मेरे पास एक एप्लीकेशन आई जिसमें एप्लीकेंट ने एक वाटर डिस्पेंसर बनाया हुआ था. तो वाटर डिस्पेंसर तो नॉर्मल है एंड सैनिटाइजर डिस्पेंसर भी नॉर्मल है, बट उसने क्या किया हुआ था, जैसे आजकल जो डिस्पेंसर्स है वो क्या करते हैं, वो यूवी स्कैनर जो होता है उससे आइडिया लगाते हैं कि देयर इज सम हैंड और इनसाइड द डिवाइस, एंड उसके अकॉर्डिंगली वो उसमें सैनिटाइजर हमारे को देते हैं. ठीक है, वो जो मशीन है उससे सैनिटाइजर निकलता है, डिपेंड जैसे हम अपना हैंड उसके नीचे स्कैनर के नीचे लगाते हैं. बट जो मेरे पास एप्लीकेशन आई उसमें था कि वो जो डिस्पेंसर है, इट विल स्कैन योर जर्म्स, द क्वांटिटी ऑफ जर्म्स ऑन योर हैंड, और वो जर्म्स की क्वांटिटी के अकॉर्डिंग ही सैनिटाइजर निकालेगा. तो इजंट इट इकोनॉमिकल कि हमें सिर्फ जितनी जरूरत है हमें सिर्फ उतना ही सैनिटाइजर मिलेगा. फिर तो इस तरीके से वो सेव कर रहा है प्रोडक्ट को, वेस्टेज से बचा रहा है. तो व्हेन यू आर एनकाउंटरिंग सच प्रॉब्लम्स, then you have to think in some different directions, and there might be chances that you will come up with some creative idea. And the first thing you should do is get the patent on it. Get it protected via patenting. Right? Now another, so as I have earlier told you कि जब भी हम कोई काम कर रहे होते हैं तो उसमें बहुत सारा, and most of the faculty member they know कि जब research चल रही होती है तो कितना टाइम लगता है एक प्रोजेक्ट को सक्सेसफुल बनाने के लिए. So when your project gets successful, the first thing you should do is, since you have put lot of time, energy and human brain while developing a project or an idea, so in order to get fair returns, scientists, businessmen, innovators, inventors, they need a fair chance to get the return of their hard work. Now the importance and significance of intellectual property is right. तो अगर आप कोई भी, hello, am I audible, sir?
Yes,
ma'am,
yes, yes, ma'am, you are audible.
Okay, okay, ma'am. So what are the importance and significance? आपको जरूरत क्यों पड़ती है? अभी जैसे मान लो एक वेरी रियलिस्टिक कंडीशन में आपको बताती हूँ. सपोज आपका मोबाइल खो जाता है तो आप पुलिस स्टेशन पे जब FIR कराने जाते हो तो सबसे पहले आपसे जो पुलिस ऑफिशियल्स हैं वो मांगते हैं उसका प्रूफ, EMI नंबर वो मांगते हैं, तो उस पे कोड होता है वो मांगते हैं. तो व्हाट दैट प्रूफ इज, या फिर कोई डॉक्यूमेंट मांगते हैं तो दैट डॉक्यूमेंट सर्व एज अ प्रूफ कि वो पहले अर्लियर दैट यू हैव ऑल द लीगल डॉक्यूमेंट्स फॉर दैट डिवाइस, कि आपके पास उस, वो सबसे पहले वो ये मांग के वो ये सुनिश्चित कर रहे होते हैं कि वो डिवाइस आपका ही था. ठीक है. तो ऐसे ही जब हम कोई भी प्रॉपर्टी को प्रोटेक्ट कराते हैं तो हमें एक लीगल डॉक्यूमेंट मिल जाता है उसके प्रोटेक्शन के द्वारा, जिससे फ्यूचर में अगर कोई हमारे आइडिया को कॉपी करे तो हम उसको प्रोटेक्ट कर सके, हम उसको कॉपी और सेलिंग से या कोई भी जो फाइनेंशियल बेनिफिट गेन करने की कोशिश करे तो हम उसको प्रिवेंट कर पाए. So that protection, that right give you protection to sue anyone who is copying or making benefits of your ideas without your permission. आपकी परमिशन के बगैर अगर आपको का कोई प्रोडक्ट यूज कर रहे हैं या फिर सेल कर रहे हैं तो that document will serve as a proof whenever you want to file any case against you. ठीक है. Now these are the significance of intellectual property right. They avoid duplication of research, then serve as indicator of achievement. जैसे most of the professors उनके लिए एक pride का मैटर रहता है कि उनका आइडिया को पेटेंट मिला है. तो so for academics related person and intellectual person, especially those belong to research and developments, they have this indicator. जैसे उनके प्रोडक्ट्स को या प्रोजेक्ट्स को पेटेंट्स ग्रांट होता है, सो इट इज मैटर ऑफ ग्रेट अचीवमेंट फॉर देम. देन कीप abreast with latest developments. Now I need to explain this with the example. Suppose आज कोई किसी मोबाइल में नया फीचर आया है, नया टेक्निकल फीचर्स आया, then there are n number of same companies that are there in market that will steal your idea. आपके आइडिया को चोरी करके, उस फीचर को चोरी करके वो तुरंत उस फीचर्स को अपने मोबाइल में या अपने डिवाइसेस में इम्प्लांट करके वो तुरंत उसको बेच सकती हैं. तो आप कैसे उसको प्रोटेक्ट करोगे, कैसे अपनी जो फीचर्स हैं उसको प्रोटेक्ट करोगे? तो फर्स्ट थिंग इज यू हैव टू गेट द पेटेंट ऑन दैट फीचर. जैसे ही आप पेटेंट के अंदर उसको रजिस्टर करा लेते हैं तो आप प्रोटेक्ट कर सकते हो बाकियों को उसको, उस फीचर्स को अपने डिवाइस में लाने के लिए, क्योंकि उनको फिर परमिशन लेनी पड़ेगी ना उस डिवाइस को अपने डिवाइसेस में इम्प्लांट करने के लिए. सो दिस इज द थिंग कि इस तरीके से एक कॉम्पिटिटिवनेस बनी रहती है मार्केट में कि कैसे बाकी ब्रांड्स जो हैं, बाकी कंपनीज वो अपने डिवाइसेस में न्यू फीचर लेके आए ताकि उनकी सेल ज्यादा हो और उनके प्रॉफिट्स, दे विल गेट मोर प्रॉफिट्स आउट ऑफ इट. देन अगेन व्हेन यू गेट योर ideas protected, then you can claim the royalty and profit of your inventions. And as I have told ki they increase the valuation of company and market value of the company and prevent the inventors or other people belonging to same market from copying or imitating your ideas. Now the first intellectual property. Till now we have discussed the objectives, significance कि आपको क्यों जरूरत है, क्या क्या इसके फायदे हो सकते हैं, what are the benefits, what are the significance of the intellectual properties. Now we will be looking at the domains कि अगर आपने इस फील्ड में काम किया है तो आप इसको इस intellectual property के अंदर protect करा सकते हैं. If your work belongs to that field, then you can protect in that domain of intellectual property. So first is copyright. First intellectual property is copyright. I want the students to be inventive. I can ask the questions in between also. So copyright, as the name suggests, ये बहुत ही controversial रहते हैं copyright issues. आप YouTube पे videos देखते होगे, आप सुनते होगे कि उस मूवी के या उस सॉन्ग के कॉपीराइट्स विदाउट द परमिशन ऑफ द क्रिएटर उन्होंने ले लिए हैं. तो इट्स वेरी कॉमन टर्म एंड यू कैन फाइंड दिस सिंबल द सी इनसाइड अ सर्कल on the third or fourth page of your books. So it means that particular book is getting prevented by copyright, right? So copyright is the legal term that describes the right given to the creator in literary, artistic, musical and dramatics, cinematic, graphic work and sound recording. So अगर आप इन सब domains में किसी में excelled हो, if you are excelled in any of the domain and you are trying to create something new in these fields, then how can you protect your ideas or your work by getting them copyright? तो कॉपीराइट में जैसे सपोज आपने कोई नॉवल लिखा, आपने पोइम लिखी या फिर आपने कोई स्कल्पचर बनाया, आप जैसे आप देखते होंगे कि गणेश गणपति महोत्सव आता है तो सब कुछ नॉर्मल इंडस्ट्रियल मेड पेंटिंग स्कल्पचर्स होते हैं लेकिन कुछ बहुत ही अच्छे से बनाए गए होते हैं स्कल्पचर्स. तो दैट ओरिजिनल वर्क, इफ अगर वो वर्क यूनिक होता है, खुद में ओरिजिनल होता है, तो हमें उन लोगों को जो ये बना रहे हैं, वी शुड मोटिवेट देम कि आप इतना अच्छा आपने ये स्कल्पचर बनाया, इतना यूनिक है, यू कैन गो एंड फाइल फॉर इट्स प्रोटेक्शन. और जैसे ही आप प्रोटेक्शन फाइल करते तो आप उसको मार्केट में बेचते टाइम यू कैन क्लेम फुल रॉयल्टी ऑन इट. नाउ कॉपीराइट does not cover the information themselves, only the form or manner in which they are expressed. तो अगर जब तक आप अपने आइडियाज को, until or unless you are not expressing your ideas in some form, it may be you can write it on a paper or you can make a poster of it or you can do the painting on walls. Until or unless you don't express your ideas, then you cannot get copyright on it. तो सबसे पहले आपको अपने आइडियाज को किसी भी तरीके से एक्सप्रेस करोगे तो ही वो दे आर, यू कैन गेट कॉपीराइट ऑन देम. नाउ there are some other rights that are related to copyrights, which are performers rights, producers rights and sound recording rights. So copyrights protect क्या करता है बेसिकली? कॉपीराइट्स आपका लिटरेरी फील्ड में अगर कोई काम है, म्यूजिकल फील्ड में, आर्टिस्टिक फील्ड में, ऑडियो विजुअल फील्ड में कोई काम है तो उसको प्रोटेक्ट करता है. आपने हैरी पॉटर देखी होगी और आपने देखा होगा कि उसके बहुत सारे पार्ट्स हैं, 7 या 8 उसके पार्ट्स हैं. तो जैसे आपने फर्स्ट पार्ट पे कॉपीराइट लिया तो जिसको भी पास वो राइट्स हैं, दैट पर्सन कैन गेट द कंट्रोल कि only he can modify, only he is capable of मेकिंग सेकेंड और थर्ड पार्ट्स ऑफ दैट नॉवल. ठीक है, तो सबसे पहले उन्होंने क्या किया होगा, उन जो ऑथर थी, अ वेरी फेमस ऑथर J.K. रॉलिंग, उन्होंने अपने जो स्टोरी है उसको सबसे पहले कॉपीराइट्स के अंदर प्रोटेक्ट कराया. नाउ जैसे ही प्रोटेक्शन उन्होंने लिया, उनके पास एक और राइट साथ में आ गया कि उसमें मॉडिफिकेशन या एडेप्टेशन या कुछ भी जो उनमें चेंजेस कर सकते हैं, केवल वही अलाउड है वो सब करने के लिए. सो जब आप ऐसे सब राइट्स लेते हैं तो केवल आपको उस पर्टिकुलर बुक या नॉवल पे ही नहीं, बल्कि अगर आप फ्यूचर में के एडवांस वर्जन भी लेके आ सकते हो तो यू कैन गेट राइट्स ऑन देम आल्सो. Now the domains under which you can get copyright is the literary work. लिटरेरी वर्क में आपके नॉवेल्स आ गए, आपकी पोएम्स आ गई, देन फिल्म्स, ड्रामेटिक वर्क, म्यूजिकल, आर्टिस्टिक वर्क एंड साउंड रिकॉर्डिंग. और अभी हम देखेंगे कि इनके फर्दर पार्ट्स क्या क्या हो सकते हैं जिसपे आपको कॉपीराइट मिल सकता है. एंड द बेसिक थिंग इज आपका वर्क ओरिजिनल ही होना चाहिए. और आपने शायद सोनी टीवी पे एक बहुत ही अच्छा शो आया था, द शार्क टैंक. अगर आप लोगों ने वो देखा है तो आप थोड़ा सा रिलेट कर पाएंगे आज के लेक्चर कोर्स से. नाउ लिटरेरी वर्क में आपके बुक्स हो सकती हैं, न्यूज़पेपर्स, देन क्वेश्चन पेपर्स, कैटलॉग्स, डिक्शनरीज. अगर आप ये सब फील्ड में इफ यू आर कमिंग अप विद न्यू एंड यूनिक फॉर्म्स देन यू कैन प्रोटेक्ट देम. एंड आर्टिस्टिक वर्क में आपका आ जाता है ड्राइंग्स, पेंटिंग्स, स्कल्पचर्स, then advertisement posters, then industrial and engineering drawings and photographs. So musical work में आपने देखा होगा कि songs जो होते हैं उनके basically दो parts होते हैं. तो only those parts which can be represented, जो कि आप express कर सकते हो, उन्हीं को copyright मिलता है. जैसे कि आपके lyrics हो गए एक तो, और दूसरा हो गया आपका जो graphical notation होते हैं, जो musical compositions होती हैं उनको. So in song there are two domains on which you can get copyright. One is the musical domain, that is the instrumentation wala part, and second is lyrics. जैसे आप डम शोज करते हो आप उनको भी कॉपीराइट दिला सकते हो, ये सब भी इंक्लूडेड है उसमें. ड्रामेटिक्स, प्लेज, जिस तरीके से जैसे हमने देखा होगा कि रामायण या महाभारत ये पहले भी आती थी, लेकिन जब आप वाया सम वीडियो जब आप उसको प्रेजेंट करो तो सबके एक्सप्रेशंस अलग अलग होते हैं. सो बाय प्रोटेक्टिंग अंडर कॉपीराइट यू कैन गेट योर expressions prevented from copying and imitating. Now there are some rights. Another right is broadcasting right. तो broadcasting rights क्या होता है, आपने देखा होगा टीवी पे कि जो शो एक चैनल पे आता है वो दूसरे चैनल पे नहीं दिखाई देता. इसका मतलब क्या है, जो ये चैनल्स होते हैं जैसे सोनी टीवी हो गया, जी टीवी हो गया, कलर्स हो गया, these are the broadcasting organizations. ये ब्रॉडकास्टिंग ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस होती हैं. सो वंस दे गॉट द ब्रॉडकास्टिंग राइट ओवर अ पर्टिकुलर शो, जैसे ही वो एक राइट ले लेते हैं, ब्रॉडकास्टिंग राइट किसी शो को एयर करने के लिए, तो soon they can prevent other channels from airing that show. जैसे कि अगर सोनी टीवी अगर कपिल शर्मा शो के राइट्स सोनी टीवी ने लिए हुए हैं, ब्रॉडकास्टिंग राइट्स अगर, तो then Sony TV can prevent other TV channels, examples GTV, Colors, उन सबको वो prevent कर देगा to air that Kapil Sharma show. Now there are another rights that are related to performance right. आपने देखा होगा अलग अलग तरीके के क्लासिक डांसेस होते हैं, then नुक्कड़ नाटक, then these musicians, then snake charmers, they can also prevent their ideas by under the domain of performance right. A very famous case, आप सब इसको बहुत अच्छे से रिलेट कर पाओगे. यहाँ पे आपको सिग्निफिकेंस पता चलेगी और इम्पोर्टेंस पता चलेगी इस केस के द्वारा कि कैसे हाउ मच इम्पोर्टेंट द प्रोटेक्शन इज फॉर द इंटेलेक्चुअल, फॉर द क्रिएटिव आइडियाज इन दिस फील्ड इन कॉपीराइट्स. नाउ मूवी वाज क्रिएटेड इन 1997 और उसका नाम था अभिनेता. बट लेटर अ मूवी कॉल्ड फैन इज रिलीज्ड. सो द केस इज दैट जो अभिनेता मूवी के क्रिएटर थे उन्होंने बोला कि जो स्टोरी ऑफ फैन मूवी है ये कॉपी की गई है जो हमारी 1997 में मूवी आई थी उससे. देन दे फाइल्ड अ केस, दे वेंट टू कोर्ट. लेकिन कोर्ट में क्या हुआ कि उन्होंने कोई कॉपीराइट्स नहीं लिए हुए थे अपने वर्क के, सो दे वर नॉट एबल टू प्रिवेंट टू say that they are not guilty, that their work is original. क्योंकि उन्होंने copyrights नहीं लिए हुए थे, तो वो ये साबित नहीं कर पाए legal documents के थ्रू, the legal documents कि फैन मूवी के जो क्रिएटर हैं उन्होंने उनका वर्क कॉपी किया है, and later the fan movie was released. So I think copyright is given clear to you. So any kind of literary work, sculptures अगर आप बना रहे हो, drawings अगर आप बना रहे हो, अगर आप कोई new ideas, innovations join कर रहे हो, so you can protect them via copyright. Now, industrial designs. So industrial designs converts the ornamental and aesthetic aspects of the article, which may consist of three-dimensional features, the shapes or the surfaces of the article. And the design serves as a tool for product differentiation, and it lures the customer by enhanced visual appeal. Then it becomes the intellectual property that need to be protected. And इसमें आपका basically जो design supply होते हैं वो articles पे होते हैं, and the articles can be the watches, jewelries, fashion and luxury items. They can be industrial and medical implements, houseware, furniture, electrical appliances, vehicles and architectural structures. So अगर आप if you are coming up with some new and unique outermost appearances idea applied on an article, then you can protect them under the domain of designs. So designs relates to the shape, configuration, pattern and ornamentation, and these are applied to articles. And again, it is the industrial property. It means it is capable of manufacturing n number of times in the industry, and design covers those aspects which appeals the eye of the customer, and they does not include the mode or principle of construction. Now you have seen these bum chairs on the nursery schools and primary schools. So earlier there used to be simple chair, but someone modified the shape, and you can see the benefits or importance of change in shape when it comes to marketing a product. So again, these can be considered as the intellectual property which can be protected. Then we have milk cans and this different shape of the cycle and different bottles, the shapes and colors and patterns that can be applied to different bottles. Then there is sets. So designs can be applied to sets, and set means the number of articles that of the same general character. This so now how do you know कि आपका जो designs है वो protected है या नहीं है? There is a registration or RD symbol on your product along with the registration number to check whether your IP is protected or not. And you can find this registration number on almost all of your articles except the textile goods and the brittle articles. And what is the significance of the protection of your design? It helps the potential infringer and it helps you to take legal action when you find that somebody have copied or imitated your design. Now another intellectual property is trademarks. So trademarks covers these are the symbols, logos or brand names that helps to distinguish one enterprises or one company from that of the other. So you may be aware of the M symbol. So the symbol that is there on the screen. So as you know, it is related to MACD. So when you because of the good quality and uniqueness of this burger, yet this okay. Am I audible, sir? Yes. So because of this good quality and uniqueness, that has some reputation in the market. And even though its price is higher, the customers will surely buy it. Why? Because of its reputation in the market. So these symbols, these brand names, they served as a brand name or symbols in the market to distinguish one company or one enterprises from other. So what are the subject matters of trademarks? Trademarks में आप क्या क्या protect करा सकते हैं? You can protect the logos, sound marks, then certification marks, then moving marks. So these all are the domains of trademarks. Now you have seen when you want to buy mineral water. So which brand will you prefer? You will definitely choose distillery bottle, right? So these all are the symbols or logos that helps to stand out one company from rest of the other, and they will help in marketing of the product. These brands and symbols, they will help in marketing of the product. So if you have some new and unique start idea, then you can market your product by some symbol, logos or names. So those are protected by a trademark. What are the signs of good trademark? They must be graphically represented. आपका जो trade symbols है वो graphically represent करने के capable होना चाहिए. They must be distinctive and must not be descriptive, and they should not be deceptively similar to well-known marks. जैसे आप suppose कोई new शूज कंपनी मैन्युफैक्चरिंग कंपनी स्टार्ट करने वाले हैं और आप उसको एबिबास नाम दे रहे हैं, if you are represented giving the word Abibas to it, then it is similar to the brand name Adidas. So that is considered as the similar word, and it is not considered as unique or original word. So you cannot get it protected by trademarks. These are some good points of a good trademark symbol. Now, what should you avoid? You should avoid geographical indications, DTs, the symbol of DTs and national leaders while creating the logos and symbols for your brand. Now comes another intellectual properties, that is geographical indications. And as the name suggests, geographical indication is the sign that is used on goods that have specific geographical origin and possess quality or reputation that is solely due to the place of origin. So a good indicator, graphical indicator, is given to the goods, and it should be have some unique texture or taste that are not there in the common products that are there in the market, and such goods enjoy an advantage over the competing goods solely because of their geographical origin, which thus become the kind of intellectual property and it is protected. Now आपने देखा होगा कि जो वेजिटेबल्स होते हैं, जो गुड्स होते हैं जो कि किसी पर्टिकुलर लोकेशन से बिलोंग करते हैं, उनमें वहाँ की क्लाइमेटिक कंडीशंस, वहाँ के सॉइल, वहाँ के वाटर मिनरल्स की वजह से एक अलग सा टेक्सचर आता है. So that texture, since it is unique, then again it becomes a kind of intellectual property which needs protection. And these are some examples of geographical indications which are Darjeeling tea. So आपने देखा होगा कि जो न्यू एंड यूनिक टेस्ट दार्जिलिंग टी में है वो बाकी कहीं और की टी में देखने को नहीं मिलता. सो दीज आर द इंडिकेशंस. व्हाई? क्योंकि वहाँ की क्लाइमेटिक कंडीशंस, द दार्जिलिंग की क्लाइमेटिक कंडीशंस, दे आर इन्फ्लुएंसिंग द टेस्ट एंड टेक्सचर ऑफ the tea over there. These are other examples. Makrana marbles, it is very famous. Then silk from the Kanjipuram silk. Then Alfonso mango and saffron from Kashmir. All these are got GI tag because of their unique and specific texture. So if and you can found that these geographical indications, they are most of them are from rural areas. They are cultivated on rural areas. And you may found that most of the tribal community, they practice a kind of art on the wall, on their walls, on the walls of their houses. So again, if that art is unique and it is not common to other society, other part of the society, then they can get the protection of it by registering them under GI. Now another very famous property is patents. Now patents, it is the one of the oldest form of intellectual property, and it started in 1700. The main aim of patent system is to encourage the economic and technological development by rewarding the intellectual activity. As the name suggests, पेटेंट को हिंदी में एकस्व बोलते हैं, यानी एकाधिकार. So patent is an intellectual property right relating to the inventions. It is the exclusive and monopoly right that is granted to the inventor by the government for a period of 20 years, thus preventing others from making, using, selling, importing the product, and in exchange the inventor have to disclose his invention clearly to the public. Now there are some basic requirements for getting a patent. One is novelty, then inventive step, and then industrial applicability. So अगर आप कोई new product या process बना रहे हैं, आप कोई नई invention कर रहे हैं, that is unique and original, तो आप उसको patents के द्वारा protect करा सकते हैं. और इसकी टर्म्स होती हैं 20 years. आपको उसका प्रोटेक्शन केवल 20 years के लिए मिलता है. और जब भी आप अपने प्रोडक्ट या प्रोसेस को पेटेंट कराते हैं तो आपको उस पर फुल मोनोपोली राइट्स मिल जाते हैं. लेकिन उसकी कुछ रिक्वायरमेंट होती हैं. जब भी आप कोई प्रोडक्ट या प्रोसेस को पेटेंट कराना चाहते हैं तो और उसकी रिक्वायरमेंट्स हैं, वो नया होना चाहिए, इट शुड बी नॉवल, या फिर इट शुड बी इन्वेंटिव, या फिर इट शुड बी कैपेबल ऑफ manufacturing in industry. Now invention means, you should be clear that their patents are granted to invention only and not to the discoveries. Discoveries means finding new property of known material or article. तो अगर आप कोई न्यू प्रॉपर्टी निकाल के ला रहे हैं किसी आर्टिकल से या किसी मटेरियल से, तो दैट इज नॉट कंसिडर्ड एन इन्वेंशन, क्योंकि उसमें ह्यूमन ब्रेन का इंटरवेंशन नहीं हुआ है. अगर आप प्लांट से सेल एक्सट्रैक्ट कर रहे हैं तो दैट सेल इज ऑलरेडी देयर इन द प्लांट. क्या उसमें ह्यूमन की कुछ क्रिएटिविटी है? सो वी गिव राइट्स टू द वर्क व्हिच आर इन्वॉल्विंग ह्यूमन इंटरवेंशन, लाइक डिस्कवरी ऑफ Columbus by discovery of America by Columbus, then discovery of gravity by Isaac Newton, then discovery of plants. These all are kind of discoveries. तो हम जब भी कोई नई properties निकाल के लाते हैं किसी material की, तो that is considered as discoveries, and patents are given to the inventions, not to the discoveries. Now invention is the product or a process. Inventions या तो products होते हैं या process हो सकते हैं. That we give patents to the inventions which can either be product or a process.
Hello.
Now your invention should be novel or or have some inventive step, and it must be capable of synthesizing n number of time in industry.
Hello.
So inventive step means a feature that involves technical advancement as compared to the existing knowledge or having economic significance, or both. तो इन्वेंटिव स्टेप का मतलब होता है कि या तो आपका जो प्रोडक्ट है वो उसमें कुछ टेक्निकल एडवांसमेंट्स हो या फिर कोई इकोनॉमिक सिग्निफिकेंस. टेक्निकल एडवांसमेंट मीन सम अपग्रेडेड, जैसे हम एप्स में देखते हैं कुछ अपडेटेड वर्जन आते हैं तो उसमें वो फीचर्स, न्यू फीचर्स ऐड करते हैं उनमें। इसी तरीके से अगर आप अपने प्रोडक्ट में या अपने डिवाइस में कोई नए फीचर्स विद सम एडवांस टेक्नोलॉजी अगर आप लेके आ रहे हैं तो दैट इज कंसिडर्ड एज इन्वेंटिव। एंड इकोनॉमिक सिग्निफिकेंस मीन सपोज यू हैव अ ड्रग, now earlier its shelf life was 2 years, but now you are modifying that drug such that its shelf life is increased till 10 years or 12 years. So that is considered as economic significance. And one more example in terms of machine or devices. Suppose a machine is capable of manufacturing 20 products in 10 minutes, but now it is capable of manufacturing 20 lakh products in 10 minutes. So that machine should have some economic significance. So either the product have some technical advancement or it should have some economic significance to get to qualify the criteria of inventive step. Now this is the example of first Indian patent that was filed by Alfred George Depeny for his efficient pankha pulling machine. Another example is very famous. You must all know about him. Is Michael Jackson, and he got his shoes patented. And the real idea in his shoes is that there are some hook arrangement that helps him to create anti-gravity illusion. उनके शूज में कोई हुक का अरेंजमेंट था that helps him to lean against gravity. So at that time he protected his shoes by patenting. Now we have some legislation for the various intellectual properties. The first one is patents. Patents are protected by the Patents Act 1970 and its registration is compulsory for 20 years. Then trademarks are protected by the Trademark Act 1999 and its registration is optional. It is for 10 years and it is renewable. Then designs are protected by the Design Act 2000. Its registration is for 10 years and it is renewable by 5 years. Then geographical indications. These are protected by Geographical Indications of Goods Act 1999 and its registration is compulsory. It is for 10 years. Then copyright. It is protected by the Copyright Act 1957 and its registration is optional. It's optional for lifetime of the author and it can be extended till 60 years after the life of the author. So these are various IPR registration terms of protection. Now in simple in the understanding, if you have an idea along with the expression, then how will you protect it? It is protected by a copyright. And if your idea is related to some innovations and inventions, कोई technical device होगा, कोई advanced features होंगे जिसमें आप अगर आपके ideas में, so it is protected by a patent. And if your idea is related to the quality or identity, अगर आपके idea आपकी quality, आपके product की quality या आपकी identity को reflect करते हैं, so that idea is the subject matter of trademarks. And if the idea is related to the appearance, then it is protected by designs. And now there can be various intellectual property on a single device. आपको एक डिवाइस में ही बहुत सारी इंटेलेक्चुअल प्रॉपर्टीज मिल सकती हैं, जैसे कि हम सब लैपटॉप यूज करते हैं. सो द डिस्प्ले, जो ये लैपटॉप है इसके डिस्प्ले में सब एडवांस टेक्नोलॉजी है. सो दैट टेक्नोलॉजी इज प्रिवेंटेड बाय पेटेंट्स. सो हम उसको पेटेंट्स के द्वारा प्रोटेक्ट कर सकते हैं. देन द बॉडी ऑफ लैपटॉप की वो कैसा अपीयर होने वाला है, उसकी आउटर मोस्ट अपीयरेंस कैसी है, वो दिखेगा कैसे, उसका कलर कैसा होगा, उसकी लेंथ, ब्रेड्थ, हाइट कैसी होगी, उसकी विड्थ कैसी होगी. सो दैट aspects are protected via designs. Then there is a user manual that comes along with the device and that user manual is the form of expression of the idea. वो user manual आपको information बताएगा, गाइड करेगा कि किस तरीके से it will operate. So it is a kind of expression. So expressions are protected via copyright. Then you are looking at the logo. So that apple, half-cut apple, that is the symbol, and it is related to a brand. So it is protected via trademark. Now another example is the pressure cooker. So that technology or the way it works, it is protected via patent. Then the outermost appearance or the design, the shape of the pressure cooker is protected via designs, and from which company it belongs, the logos or symbols of that company is protected via trademarks. Then there is some user manual that comes along with it, that is protected via copyright. So I request all the participants to unmute themselves so that we have a small quiz.
Yes, ma'am, you are audible.
You can, participants can write in the chat box also.
Yeah.
So which intellectual property is there in figure 1?
Ma'am, copyright is protected in figure 1.
In 2, it is a sculpture.
Yeah.
So it is a kind of artistic work. So how will you protect it?
Ma'am, in copyright only.
Third one?
Ma'am, third one may be protected under design as well.
Yes. And then
Trademark also.
can you name the parts which are protected under various intellectual property?
Ma'am, like the design of the laptop may be protected under the Designs Act, and the logo,
Different
which is
colors
the
of
half
the-
apple. Sorry.
Yes.
And the logo, which is the half apple, is protected under Trademarks Act.
Yes, ma'am. And the technology that is there, that makes
Technology,
device unique.
yes, that is protected under Patent Act. The invention
And
of the
fourth one,
that is under trademark, ma'am. The logo,
Yeah.
distillery.
so you can write in the chat box also. Participants can write their answer in the chat box. Which type of IP protects the painting painted by the artist?
Copyright, ma'am.
Participants can give the answers to the question.
Then what protects the intellectual property created by fashion designer? Fashion
I
designer.
think they are
what-
writing the answers in the chat box, ma'am.
Yes, it's registered designs.
And they can unmute themselves and answer the question.
Participants can unmute themselves to give the answers.
What protects the intellectual property created by the fashion designer?
Designs, registered designs.
Yes, registered designs.
Yeah.
Then, what protects the advanced disc brakes for bike developed by the inventor?
Patents, ma'am.
Yeah, expressions.
Then, which of these is geographical indications? BMW, ethnic sari, ironing machine
Ma'am,
with stem.
Thani Sari.
Yes. What does a trademark protects?
Logos, names, and brands.
How long do patents usually last for?
20 years.
20 years.
If you write an original story, what type of intellectual property give you right to decide who makes and sell copies of your work?
Copyright, ma'am.
Copyright.
Imagine a cricketer set up his own company to sell his own range of clothes. What type of IP can he use to show that the clothes are made up by his company? अगर आप कोई नई क्रिकेटर क्लोथ्स की कंपनी स्टार्ट करने वाले हो, कोई क्रिकेटर है वो अपनी क्लोथ्स की कंपनी स्टार्ट करने वाला है, तो वो किस इंटेलेक्चुअल प्रॉपर्टी का यूज करेगा ये दिखाने के लिए कि वो क्लोथ्स उसकी कंपनी से बनाए गए हैं.
Ma'am, registered design.
Registered design.
Registered design.
GI का, पेटेंट्स का, रजिस्टर्ड डिजाइन का या फिर ट्रेडमार्क्स का?
I think it's trademark.
Yes.
Trademark.
It's trademark because cricketer is setting up his own brand. Okay, so if you want to set a brand in market, if you want to set an identity in market, you will go with a trademark.
Yes. Yes.
If a company develops a new technology that improves its main product, what type of IP can they use to stop others from copying their inventions?
Patents, ma'am.
It's patent.
Right.
Yeah, it's patent.
For further training, you can visit rgniipm.ipo@nic.in and you can mail them. If you have any questions, you can ask me.
If participants have any doubts or queries, you can ask.
Amol sir, are you there?
Yes, Ujjwal, I am here.
Madam, I have a question. Hello, ma'am.
Sir,
Yes, please, sir. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I have a question. Suppose we are trying for patent provisionally. Suppose can we get a provisional the time period from provisional to and after acceptance of the patent? What will be the duration? Will be there, sir? Yes,
Amol sir.
Yes. Sir, if you are an ordinary applicant and you are filing for a provisional specification, then we will be giving you a 12 months of time to file a complete specification. For example, after 12 months, you file a complete specification and we examine your application and for example, your application is granted a patent. Okay. But the timeline of 20 years is from the date of filing. Okay. The first date you are filing in the patent office, you will be getting 20 years from that first day only.
So after filing the provisional patent, so can we get means how much the time period of the duration can we get the that patent?
To file a complete specification, you are getting 12 months of time. That is one complete year. You will be getting a time to develop your invention, to modify your invention. Okay, to do more research on your invention, you will be getting 1 year of time. But within that 1 year, you have to file a complete specification.
Okay, means within a period of 1 year, can we provide the details of the inventions related to the patents within period of 1 year, sir? Hello, ma'am. Adil sir. I'm audible.
If you have any questions, you can go ahead with your questions, sir.
Yes, sir.
I have a question, sir.
Okay.
Sir, if the patent has been registered in the gazette of a particular thing, does that mean that the patent has been awarded, or is there some specific certificate to be issued by patent office?
Sir, what is the actual procedure is, when you file for a patent application, we first publish it because the persons working in the field has given time to file a pre-grant opposition. That means, for example, you are working in some field and there are many persons or many people working in the same field. Okay, so we are giving them time to file a pre-grant opposition to your application, because if someone is working in the same field and is working on the same invention, So, and if he has filed the invention first, so we will be giving him time to file a pre-grant opposition. For that purpose, we publish your abstract and one drawing in the Gazette. Okay. So after only publication means it does not mean that your patent is granted. Okay. So when your patent is granted, we will be giving you a certificate. Okay. So that certificate is only the way or is only the registration certificate of patent. Okay. So only publication in Gazette is not a patent, is not a grant decision of a patent. Okay, sir. You will be getting a separate certificate from controller of patent. That means our CGPDTM, sir, and that will work as a proof of your registration.
And what may be the duration after publication in Gazette and granting the certificate if there are no objections?
No, sir. That duration cannot be defined in this manner because this is a two-way procedure. Actually, we are giving you a timelines for each and every process. Okay. So, for example, we are giving you a timeline for filing request for examination 48 months. Okay, so that does not mean that you should file on the last day of 48 months. You can file it on first day itself also. Okay, so the timelines we are giving. So if you submit your documents before that timelines, your application can get a decision in a faster way also. Okay, so there cannot be as defined time is not there. So as soon as you submit all the documents, your application is examined on the in that queue only, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Are there any questions more? So, Konda sir, should we move further?
Yes, sure, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Honorable Ujjwal ma'am, for your precious guidance regarding IPR, its significance, its parameters, abstract and concrete dimensions of IPR, industrial property rights, copyright, patents, designs. And now we are coming towards the concluding part of the webinar. I would request Professor Pote sir to propose vote of thanks. Over to Pote sir.
Hello and very good morning one and all. Now we are moving towards the last section of this program, that is vote of thanks. Firstly, I would like to thank Honorable Miss Ujjwal Madam for giving such a wonderful and knowledgeable and informative talk on awareness on IPR for aspiring minds. I am sure her talk will be beneficial for all our students as well as faculty members. On behalf of Kopargaon Taluka Education Society's KJ Somiaya College Kopargaon, I am very thankful Miss Ujjwala Madam for accepting our invitation and delivering such a wonderful talk. I would also like to thank Honorable Ashukrao Rohumare, Chairman of Kopargaon Taluka Education Society, for providing this opportunity to conduct this webinar. I would also like to thank Honorable Advocate S.D. Kulkarni, Secretary of Kopargaon Taluka Education Society, for support to conduct this program. I would also like to thank Honorable Dr. B.S. Yadav sir, Principal of KJ Somiaya College Kopargaon, for providing energy to conduct this webinar. I would also like to thank Professor Dr. S.R. Pagare sir for giving introduction of speaker and organizing this program. I would also like to thank Professor V.C. Thange, IQAC coordinator of this college, to give necessary insights to conduct this program. I would also like to thank Dr. S.G. Konda, coordinator of this webinar, for giving introduction of webinar and organizing this event. I would also thankful to Dr. G.K. Sawan, myself, and Professor P.G. Gudge for providing technical support. My special thank to Mr. Amol Patil, who is NIPAM officer from Mumbai Patent Office, for providing this support to conduct this webinar under the banner of NIPAM and answering our questions. I am also thankful to Professor Varsha Ahir Madam for hosting this webinar and for a very good anchoring. And last but not least, I am very thankful to all the participants and faculty members for participating in this event and making this event a success. With the permission of organizer, I declare that this program is over. Thank you all.